Hey friends, and welcome to Using Wonders or Maravillas virtually, given what's happening right now with the coronavirus. We know that many schools or districts or even whole states are closing schools, but yet we need ways to still reach out to our students virtually or digitally. And or maybe it's just about finding resources that you can send home, pencil paper, and that's okay too. My name's Brandon Harvey, National Literacy Specialist with McGraw-Hill Education, and we are going to kind of dive into looking at how to find resources to print for students for a week or 2 weeks or multiple weeks. But also, those of you who do have students that, number one, have access and perhaps devices at home, this would also be useful for you as well. Now, I am logged in as a fourth grade classroom teacher here, but please know that this works for Wonders, for Maravillas, kindergarten all the way through sixth grade. All of the buttons, all of the sort of way we go about finding things and the click path is going to all be the same. So let's start if you're just needing to go log in to your teacher account and find resources very quickly. So one of the things you can see is that I'm logged in here. My calendar is at Unit 5, Week 4. Well, maybe I want to go and choose some resources to send home to review. So I'm going to go maybe back to a previous unit and week. So I can click into unit and choose a week wherever it is that I need to go. And here I am at Unit 4, Week 1. Now, from this home screen, you can clearly see your printables. Now, it does not matter whether you're using Wonders 2014 or version Wonders 2017 or Wonders version 2020. You will see your printables here. They may look a little different depending on the version, but you will have printables here. So I could very easily, if all I need to do is print things, I can click here on the printer icon. And there I can see, for example, here are all of my spelling pages. Now, as a teacher, I can download these. I could go to File and Print and send these home as maybe some practice pages to do as they are at home away from school. Or, of course, you can download and then attach them in an email. So if you have parents or guardians' emails, maybe even your students have an email account, you could send via email with a message to complete these resources. So again, I can choose the printer icon on any of these printables. Also, over here on the cog or the wheel, for example, if I go to this practice book page, I can send home the original format. So I can, again, open original format. That's going to be that same PDF version that you saw. Now, what if I need multiple weeks? So remember, I could come up here. I could say, okay, there's week 1, and then maybe I go to Unit 4, week 2. And so now I'm looking at the next week's set of materials. All of my printables here for that week have switched over. So it's a really easy way using these drop-down menus to change unit and week to find printables that would go with that particular week. Now, at the same time, what you'll also notice is changing on your screen down here are the games and the activities. Now, of course, you would have to have digital internet access and a device, but same sort of thing. Notice that each game sits in its own little box there, and you could click on that wheel or that cog and again click assign this resource. Those of you teachers who might also use Google Classroom, you could share these resources via Google Classroom. Now, this really is a great way to find things very quickly and easily. You could do the same thing by coming over here to your resource library. And now I'm here in my resource library for this particular unit and week. I can see things that are in my slideshow. Again, I could, with one click, share or assign these resources here. So even if it's pages from a text or a simple graphic organizer or a background video, I could simply find those very quickly and share those as well to sort of do some instruction digitally. So you may want to, if you are assigning these things, you could assign them in a certain order where they're going to read the essential question and talk about it maybe with a family member. Then they're going to watch that background video. Maybe you're going to have them do a little journal activity. You could create assignments that could be done digitally. Same thing here. As I scroll down, you have access to all of your ebooks, and it could be as simple as assigning a literature anthology text, or kindergarten, first grade, maybe assigning a big book for students to listen to. Same thing with your leveled readers. So here, again, it's a little more open because these are all of the resources for the whole curriculum, but you can use your unit and week drop downs here to sort of focus in and find things that are particular to that unit and that week of instruction. Now, let's talk about assigning something. So, for example, I'm already here. I'm going to go to my student practice pages. And I just want to throw out some ideas. I know that some teachers are doing maybe some choice boards where they're going to maybe have a list. They're going to send a list home of different items that students could choose to do, different games and activities. You also have, for your younger students, I've heard teachers creating bingo cards where the kids maybe can again have some choice in what they do, and there's different activities on the bingo card that they have to maybe log on and find and do. So that again is a way to use digital in a very creative way. So for example, if I know I want to send home some grammar practice, so I'm going to find my grammar reproducibles here, and then I'm going to, like I said, I'm on unit, unit 4 here, week 2. So I'm going to find my unit 4, week 2. It's all organized by unit and week. I could have also used my drop down there as well. But here it is. And now I'm going to assign. So this is assuming that your students have internet access, have a login for ConnectEd, and that you have your classroom rostered. So if you go to assign things like I'm doing right now, and if you were to scroll down here from the assignment manager and you did not see your class list here, this would not be possible. I would encourage you to find on our McGraw-Hill website. We're going to have additional videos or support pieces, tutorials on how to roster your students if you don't have that sort of self-rostering done at a district level, and how to assign that content and get your students online to use the digital. But I have my class roster here, so I've got my grammar practice. I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it grammar. Here you would want to give instructions. Please review and complete these pages. If I want to, sort of assign them, but also have a back and forth with students, I can. This is also very interesting. Anytime you assign anything, whether it's a practice page or a leveled reader or a decodable text, you could turn the student recorder on, and that would be another great interaction where students record their voice reading something that they've done or reading a piece of text. Now, it's going to only record probably about a minute at a time, but it could be a great way to have a little fluency check or just to hear students reading a passage or a page. All right, I'm going to assign this to all of my students. I could choose specific students to get certain assignments at different differentiated levels, but I'm just going to say all, so it checks all of them. I'm going to scroll down. Oh, by the way, you can say when the assignment starts and when it's due. So if you want to make multiple assignments that are going to go across a week, or multiple assignments that may appear over several weeks, depending on how long you might be out of school. Depending on how long you're out of school, this could be helpful too. So I'm just going to go ahead and have that assignment start today. I'm going to scroll down and then hit assign. All right, so now that I've made that assignment, I want to jump over to another browser where I'm logged in as a student from my class. So here I am on my grade 4. Again, this would look very similar, kindergarten through 6th grade, English or Spanish. The students have access to their resources. So like I said, if you want to do a choice board or maybe a bingo card board where they're going to go find different resources, games, activities, stories to read, you've got, they have access to all of their resources here. But you can see here that the assignment I sent, once the students log on, they'll see a little number 1, right? That's their to-do. There's their to-do list. So let's take a look at this grammar assignment. So here we are, and I, as a student, would come and click to open my assignment. I, of course, could print these pages out if I needed to, but I'm going to be able, like I said, do them digitally because this is assuming that students have internet access and a device. And so here we are going to have to read the sentence and circle the pronoun. So I've got a circle tool, right? Can use my circle tool and use that to circle. I've also got underline, box, highlighter. I've also got a typing tool because it says write an O for object or S for subject pronoun. And I would come over here, making sure that it's the right size there, and put that on to their page. Again, and then down here in the bottom right-hand corner, there are multiple pages, right? Because I sent the entire week's worth of grammar practice. And so all of those practice pages are here. If you want only to do certain pages, you don't need them to do all of them. Let me just minimize this. You can see there are page numbers assigned. And so you could say, oh, just do, pages 81, 82, and 83. Or you may, again, that's why putting those instructions in your assignment are so critical. Once students have done, of course, they need to come down here to the bottom right and hit save. This is going to save to their assignment that they've been sent, but also it's going to save in their work in their quote unquote virtual binder. So I'm going to close this. I can see it's saved. I can write a note to my teacher. This was an easy assignment, or I was able to complete all of them, but I had a question about. So again, sort of some communication there. Also, I just want to remind you, rather than clicking open, if the student needed to print this, right, they can click on the cog or the wheel just like a teacher would, and they would open in original format, and that's where they could print this assignment. But I've done it virtually, assuming, right, that I did all that work, and then I would submit it. I would hit submit, and it would go back to my teacher. Okay, so now I'm back over at my teacher side, and if I come over here to manage and assign, and I go to my assignment manager, we should be able to see that grammar practice. And again, I can open this up. I can see which students have submitted. I know 1 of 50. Of course, it's just that one demo student that I went into. And then I could view their submission. And so here is what the student wrote back to me. If I want to comment back to them, I could have that back and forth. I could mark as completed and save it. If it's not completed, right, because I might be sending it back to them. So there's a little return button. So if I have notes to them, I could do that. I can also open up, right, their actual work. So let's click on the little icon there. And you can see there's where I circled, and again, if I as a teacher wanted to come in and maybe just type a note, hey, great job. Okay, I could do that, and then I could save that, and again, I could send that back to them so they would know that I had seen the work as well. If I don't need that back and forth, I could just mark as completed and hit save. Thank you so much for your attention to this brief video on how to use the Wonders and Maravillas kindergarten through 6th grade materials virtually. Again, hopefully you've seen that you can easily print and send home any of the PDF resources. Again, you can go from your weekly printables or from your resource library to get graphic organizers or additional supplemental resources. Don't forget, if your students do have internet access and you have them registered in your class, you can send and receive assignments. Or even if you just want to have a choice board and have students log on, play different games and activities, review stories, reading stories that have been previously taught, or maybe just letting them have free choice to have some independent reading time, a way to keep up their skills. Because we know that instruction stalls a little bit when we're not there in person, but this is a great way to sort of keep up their skills virtually. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Everybody keep washing your hands. We will get through this together. And keep in touch with the McGraw-Hill website for additional resources and information regarding all of McGraw-Hill's subject area resources, kindergarten through 12th grade. Also, tips for teachers and information for parents as well will be continuously updated and posted. Thanks so much and have a great day.